Hello and welcome to Momentum 3.0, the place where we take our own financial decisions now. This video is not financial advice and you should do your own research. Here we are with John Deaton, the attorney that filed the mandamus about XRP. Hello, John.
Hello, Adrian. Nice.
Hello. Can you explain us?
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah, perfect. Can you explain us which is a mandamus and why did you feel it?
Okay. Well, I'll tell you the answer to the second question first, which is why did I file the writ of mandamus? When the SEC filed their case against Ripple and I read it, I was expecting it to be consistent with the way that they've prosecuted cases in the past. And that's by saying that very targeted distributions. So, for example, I expected it to say that they're going after Brad Garlinghouse or Chris Larson or Ripple because they sold unregistered securities between 2013 and say 2017. But when I saw the first sentence, the very first sentence said that they were still calling XRP today a security because they claimed that Ripple is selling an unregistered security from, quote, 2013 to the present day. And that's a very different scenario. I've pointed out on Twitter that every digital currency, even Bitcoin to a certain extent, in the very early years when it's more centralized, can be called a security. But in the later years, it becomes sufficiently decentralized into something else, right? More like a commodity, not a security. And so I got upset and I started to file a lawsuit, a class action against the Securities Exchange Commission on behalf of all XRP holders. But then I realized that I can't sue the government until I give them a notice of 6 months. So I have to send a letter that says 6 months from today, I'm going to sue you. But that's just a requirement that's written into the law before you go after the government. I didn't want to wait 6 months because I knew that the exchanges in the United States, like Coinbase and Binance and Kraken, that they were going to stop trading XRP. And so I decided to file the writ of mandamus. And what that means is I'm asking the court to direct an officer of the United States, in this case, the chairman of it's a chairwoman now, but at the time it was Elad Roisman. He was the chairman that took over from Jay Clayton to do a duty. A mandamus means you're asking an official to do their job. And so it's asking the court to direct the chairman of the SEC to amend the complaint to only the charges that it can prove. I'm taking the position, and I believe strongly in it, that the SEC cannot prove or even argue in good faith that the XRP that I hold in my wallet or that you hold in your wallet is a security. They might be able to prove that in 2015, when Brad Garlinghouse or Chris Larson or Ripple sold some XRP to somebody, that was a security, but they can't argue it today. And so the writ of mandamus, it's not usually done. It's very rare, but it is in instances where I'm saying this is so outrageous that the court should direct the officer to do his job and do it the right way. And, it's an uphill battle. I have to acknowledge that. It's an uphill battle because I have to require, I have to prove certain things. And believe it or not, Uphold and GateHub, which still allow you to buy and sell XRP, which I support. I'm glad they do. Because of that, I might lose the writ of mandamus because the court could say that I have an adequate remedy 6 months from now. I can sue the SEC, and because of that, they don't have to grant my petition for writ of mandamus. Basically, what I'm saying is that one of the things I have to prove for the writ of mandamus is that I have no other legal remedy, that there is no other thing that I can do. And the judge might say to me, well, you can still trade XRP on Uphold or GateHub. And so your remedy is to sue the SEC 6 months from now. I'm going to deny your claim. You know, before that, I filed the writ. I didn't think any exchange was going to allow it. And so it meant that my XRP sat in an account that I couldn't trade. It's like, you know, if you go to Coinbase, whether you have 1,000 or 100 XRP or 10,000 XRP, you just sit there. You can't do anything with it, right? If you want to trade it because it went from, you know, 40 cent to 60 cent, it just sits there, and I all I get to do is look at the chart. So so that's basically a long answer to the question of what is a writ of mandamus and why did I file it.
Okay, what is your opinion, your professional opinion about the case? Because I am economist, so I analyze it from economics perspective. So can you explain us in a nutshell what is the case and what can be the outcome of this?
Sure. The basically what the SEC is claiming is that when there's a instrument, right, that can be called an investment, if it's a security, you have to register with the Securities and Exchange Commission that you're selling it. You have to make certain disclosures. And because Ripple didn't do that, they're saying that you violated the Securities and Exchange law and you sold $1.3 billion worth of XRP, and we want that $1.3 billion back. And you aren't allowed to sell XRP in the future unless you comply with the registration requirements. That's in essence of what they're claiming. And like I said in the first question, they're claiming that today's XRP, if Ripple were to sell XRP today, they're claiming that's a security still. And so clearly the SEC and Ripple entered into what's called a statute of limitations tolling agreement. Generally speaking, in this case, you have 5 years, right, for the SEC to bring a case against Ripple. So if they want to claim that Ripple sold something in 2013 and that was a security, they have to sue Ripple within 5 years unless they enter into an agreement that they can be sued later because they're trying to settle. And it is without question, there was a settlement discussion between Ripple and the SEC before the SEC filed the case, but they couldn't come to terms. Now, I have to tell you that I don't know, you know, what settlement offer was made, and no one does except for Ripple and the SEC. But clearly, it wasn't enough for Ripple. What the SEC was offering was way too much for them to accept. Otherwise, they would have settled. And so that makes me speculate that they told Ripple that you have to pay this $1 billion and you have to not sell your 45 billion of XRP that you have in escrow. Well, clearly Ripple's not going to agree to that. And so they decided to reject whatever offer Jay Clayton and the others made, and take their chances in court. Now, there's been a lot of speculation recently about whether there is a current offer or not on the table. And I'm not sure if you saw the recent letters from the acting chairman. I don't know if you saw that, but
I brought this into the tongue.
Chairwoman Heron Lee took a position that Hester Pierce and Elad Roisman disagree with. She basically came out and said that you can't make an offer. Ripple or any other company can't say, I'll settle with you, SEC, conditioned upon you granting me a waiver for these other cells. And she says she wants to do away with that practice. And that means it's all or nothing, right? It's an all or nothing. It's a hard-nosed tactic. Whereas the other commissioners like Hester Pierce and Elad Roisman said, no, we think that a company should be allowed to still make those offers and it be contingent. Basically the current chairperson is saying that Ripple can make a settlement, but they don't get to know whether they're going to get a waiver or not until after they settle. Well, why would they do that? Like, why would, if they settle and the SEC says, no, we're not going to grant you a waiver, you're not allowed to sell XRP, then Ripple, they're done, right? I mean, you're an economist, you would know before me, but my impression is that Ripple needs XRP to survive. To survive to the degree that they want to. I mean, they, instead of having 500 employees, maybe they can go on 50 and still survive selling software to banks. But I don't think that's what Ripple was ever intended to do, right? They came out in the beginning and said that they want to make a dent in the universe. They want to affect all money. And so that's a pre-suit settlement was out of the question. Now the question is, with Gary Gensler coming in, what is his position? Because it looks like you have two commissioners, Hester Pierce and Elad, who are open to a settlement with Ripple and allowing Ripple to move forward, and at least one, maybe two, that are against it. I tweeted that Gary Gensler really is going to be the key here. Is he going to take a hardline approach with Ripple and say, no, you this is how we feel and we're going to push it all the way? Or he may also say that, we need a new test from the Supreme Court. Instead of the Howey test, we're going to call it the Ripple test. Right. But you're talking about 3-4 years of litigation. And so the conventional wisdom is, and Brian Brooks, who used to be the director of the OCC, Office of Comptroller of the Currency, he recently commented publicly that he believed a settlement would happen. I believe a settlement will happen, but the question is, will that settlement be in March, or will that settlement be in, December? You know what I mean? And I don't know. I know a lot of people think that it's going to happen in the next week or two. I personally don't believe that, but I hope I'm wrong. Like I would love for them, but the question is, what happens with a settlement? The last thing that Ripple's going to do is agree to settle, and it's still up in the air, right? They're going to want clarity. They're going to want to say, okay, here's some money. We paid a fine, but we can sell XRP this way or that way, and it's clear and it's defined, and we're moving forward. And so we'll see. What's really, are you in Spain?
Yeah, I am in Spain.
Right. And so what I'm saying is here we are. What's really sad and tragic is that 80% of XRP is traded outside of the United States. Right. And yet you have this United States government agency mucking it up for everybody in the world. Like they're affecting you. They're affecting me. A lot of people, a couple times I've tweeted, I've had some international followers say to me, like, that's your problem in the United States. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have a problem here in Australia or Spain or Colombia or wherever. But I say to them, but it is affecting your price. Like, if you own XRP and your followers own XRP in Spain, they're missing out on this bull run that is happening, right? I mean, we don't know for sure, but I think it's safe to say you're a better judge than me because of your background. But I think it's safe to say that XRP would be above 60 cents right now. You know, if it wasn't for the SEC, you know what I mean? Would it be $3? Would it be $2? Would it be $1? I don't know. But it's just a shame that the US government can negatively impact the rest of the world's use and innovation of the technology and the product. And so, unfortunately, I do believe it affects your followers in Spain or anyone else. So, you know, but long answer to your question.
It's perfect. For example, here in Spain, the SEC, or it is called the SNMV, okay, which is more or less the same.
Yeah.
Told me personally that XRP is not a security, and they let me sell and buy XRP explicitly. So it is clear here in Spain. So that's
okay. No,
something really important.
No, it's good to know because you just said that they made you very well aware in Spain. Japan has come out and officially said XRP is not a security. The United Kingdom has come out and called it a hybrid token between an exchange token or a utility token, but it's not a security token. The UAE has stated that XRP is not a security, and Singapore has stated that it's not a security. And DBS, which is the largest bank in Singapore and the 6th largest bank in the world, has said that not only is XRP not a security, but they've said that XRP is much faster and much better than using SWIFT, right? And so now you got Spain. After talking to you, I know that Spain is taking the position that it's not. So you have all these international countries, you know, providing clarity and providing guidance to their investors and their public. But you have, you know, the United States, they can't even agree amongst themselves. They're fighting, right? You have a letter that comes out from the acting chief, Heron Leas, and then the next day, Hester Pierce sends her letter that contradicts theirs. It's just publicly infighting. But in the meantime, the world is moving on, right? Like, and my fear is, you know, I served in the Marine Corps. Like, I love my country. I'm not a protectionist and believe that the United States is the only country and all that crap. But I love my country, just like I'm sure you love Spain. And it's just shameful that we are losing in the technology race. You know, the Federal Reserve said that they want a central bank digital currency developed by the end of 2024, right? They're talking 3 more years that they want to experiment with it 3 years from now. In the meantime, China has been using a central bank digital currency and digital currency in 3 major cities for the last 4 months. And so, and then you've got other countries coming out and using it. So it's maybe hopefully Spain will be up there, but right now you have Singapore and you have Japan, Switzerland. These are countries that seem to be adopting this new revolution of currency, if you will, while the United States is getting lagged behind.
Yeah, I I have been reading a lot about cases, specific cases that affected this case. Okay, like people who had XRP in an account for their retirement, and they were receiving some interest. Which is the case or the person that impacted more personally, like emotionally, about this case, like someone who had a big problem with this case?
No, absolutely. And the when you think about it, like you just said, that XRP people could collect interest off it, use it as collateral for a loan. Those are examples of uses that make it not a security. By itself, if you look at the securities laws, the assets that the Supreme Court has said that are securities, like the orange groves or the pay phones, the investor never took possession of those things, right? We take possession of the XRP, and then we can use it. If I could take my XRP, use it as collateral to take a loan, and you being as an economist, if you will, we're headed toward negative interest rates. It looks like the European bank told their financial institutions, the central bank, to prepare for negative interest rates. So think about that for a minute. You're going to get charged interest for the bank to hold my money or to hold your money. That's who wants to do that? Like, let's say you had $100,000 or $10,000 or $1,000. It doesn't matter the number, but the bank is going to take some of it just for you to hold it. And so, in the meantime, you or someone else could use your XRP for uses that, in and of itself, demonstrate that it's not a security. And so, it's the stories that I've gotten are actually really, really affect me, like make me sad, for people, because I've seen stories. People have emailed me. I had one lady email me a story, and it really broke my heart because her father had died like 18 months ago, and he had saved all his life. A blue collar worker, worked in the union, and he saved $100,000. And when he died, he gave her, his only daughter, the $100,000, and she has 2 children. And she wrote to me, and she said that she didn't want to use the money. She was used to living life without tapping into it, so she wanted to invest it. And a friend who's a financial advisor told her to not invest in Bitcoin, but put it all in XRP or any other stock. Now, you and I know that that's probably not a good idea, whether it's XRP or any other one, right? But she's just relying on somebody that she trusts. And then she puts it all in XRP. And then, of course, the SEC comes down with their action, and that's when XRP dropped 75%. So she saw her $100,000 go to $25,000. And what she was saying wasn't just the financial. It's what you're talking about. It's where she said that she disappointed her father. Like, she squandered away his life savings that he put together to help her and her children. So it was the emotional thing. Like reading the email, I actually like got emotional when I was reading it because I'm a father, and I saw this daughter like disappointed. Like I've disappointed my dead father because I've lost the money that he put away for me. And the fact that the United States government agency can just act the way it does and cause that kind of financial and emotional destruction in the regular people's lives, like that can't happen. Like it just can't happen anymore. And so that was sort of the impetus of why, we need to stand up and fight back, whether we lose, whether we win, whatever, but we're going to go down fighting.
Okay, let's talk about the ecosystem in general, like which may be the impact in other coins. Are they safe in the sense that if XRP is declared a security, which coins can be affected by that? Which coins may be more or less safe, quote unquote? Which is your opinion about the impact?
Yeah. That's a fantastic question. And it's because, a lot of the Bitcoiners, Bitcoin maxis, right? And I own Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin, but
yeah, me too. For disclosure,
they think yeah, they call it every other coin a shit coin, right? Right. That's what they do. But what they don't understand is that I fear the government. I fear them in the sense of an overreaching government who's threatened by their fiat system, is threatened by this digital currency, this revolution that's taken place. And so if XRP is deemed a security, how is Ethereum not affected? Just because a couple people who used to work for the SEC says that Ethereum isn't a security, that doesn't mean the government can't come back and do it. They've never there's no legislation, there's no regulation that says Ethereum is safe. It's just a couple people have said Ethereum's not a security. So I think every token starts off at some point more centralized, right? So whether it's Cardano, or whether it's Ethereum, or whether it's XRP, or whether it's Polkadot, pick whatever one you want. When it first starts, somebody is trying to create a token and make money on that token, and their efforts are what is driving the value. And it's the common enterprise, if you will. And it takes somewhere between 3 and 5 years usually before it becomes more decentralized, so that it's not just that first group. And so I think that if XRP were deemed a security, it would be a threat to just about every other token. I mean, think about this. The old chairperson, the chief of the finance, what's his name? Grunfest, Joseph Grunfest, used to be a chief in the enforcement division. When Bitcoin first came out, he thought Bitcoin was a security. So if you start a Bitcoin mining pool company, and you're going to mine for Bitcoin, and you're seeking investors, and you get investors to pay you money so that you mine Bitcoin, and you're going to repay them in Bitcoin, you could try to call that a security, right? Because the common enterprise is the mining pool, and the person invested money, and they're waiting for Bitcoin to appreciate. So, am I arguing that Bitcoin would be attacked? No, but I'm saying conceptually, if XRP is a security today, you could make that argument about almost every other token. And so I think it would be a huge problem. And that's why I believe that the the entire community, the digital currency community should come together and they should lobby Washington, D.C. in Congress for legislation that promotes innovation. And that way you get rid of a Jay Clayton or somebody who has an agenda, who's at the SEC and wants to like promote a certain product or stop a certain product. But that's what they do. Unfortunately, the crypto community is very tribal, just like, you know, it's just like here in the United States, you know, if you voted, families have been broken up because of who they vote for president, right? It's like tribal. And so same thing, you have there's even people in the XRP community who like despise Bitcoin, and they despise it, and they only want XRP. And then you have the Bitcoin maxis. And so I think they all need to come together, because I'm sure you agree with me that the market should decide the winners and the losers, right? If XRP's technology is less superior to someone else's, that's who should decide, not the SEC, not some government agency that every 4 years when there's a new president, you get somebody new who thinks a different way. You need some consistency. And unfortunately, if you have the people who only love Ethereum and they hate XRP, and then you have the people who are the Link Marines, right, for Chainlink, and they hate the XRP army. And it's like, I think we all need to come together and say, hey, let's fight as a community against the government overreach. And then whatever technology innovates the most and is successful the most, that's the one that will win, and see what happens. But it just doesn't seem to be enough community between the different protocols.
Okay, maybe Flare is the solution for this kind of problems between tribes. What do you think about Flare? What is the goal with Flare, in your opinion?
Well, I'm excited. I think that Flare, and you're right on the money as far as a technology that seems to try to bridge the other ones, right? Yeah. You're trying to bring even Bitcoin and XRP, hell, even Dogecoin might have a chance, right?
Yeah.
But no, I haven't had enough time to really study Flare, other than the basics. I know that Hugo, the founder, is big in the gaming industry, and I know Gala has got a lot of things going on right now. I know there are a lot of people involved in that, but I think that the technology is very promising. And so which is a great point, like I tried to make about XRP and the SEC, is if you have XRP and the SEC calls it a security, what's that make your Spark token when you get it?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's like, a dog gives birth to a dog, right? A cat gives birth to a cat. A human gives birth to a human. XRP is a security. How is Spark? Is it a security? Is it? It just goes to show you the absurdity of what the inconsistency that's going on. You know what I mean? And so that's what I've been trying to do. But Flare, I'm excited for. And I don't know. I haven't looked at what the last price it's been, but I hear it's trading pretty good.
Yeah, we have two prices. We have the Vitru price and the Poloniex price. Vitru price surpassed the nominal price of XRP. like 1 month ago. It was like 30 cents.
That's crazy.
And XRP was 28 or something like that. And right now it is like 20, 32, 29 cents. But it's like
Right.
even the experiment between exchanges is fascinating, and there is another one, but these two are the main ones.
Right.
And here in the community we are
Right.
like 50-50. We are trying to diversify because we don't know what we don't know. So that's crazy, but
Right.
it's wonderful to have this kind of experiments. I got deep into Flare because I really enjoyed the white paper. I read it deeply. Also the paper about FXRP.
Yeah.
I find it really really fascinating because this is like my way of living, like reaching people, joining people, and mainly communities, because they chose firstly Litecoin, then Dogecoin, and yeah, Gala is also a big movement in my opinion. So that's wonderful. Be True right now is also trading Gala token. So they are
Okay.
really waiting for Flare in Gala because the gas price of Ethereum right now is killing them. So it will be really important for them to use Spark, to use Flare, and
Right.
the implications in legal terms are also really important because, as you said, a dog is a dog. And Hugo told us in a group that he spent, or they spent, big money in attorneys and legal expenses in order to know that XRP is not a security, it's a currency, so there is no issue about it.
Right.
So I am safe with that because mainly the key question is, for example, if all the people will receive it, because in Be True, the US citizens didn't receive it. Like they needed to be verified, and if they were from the US, they weren't able to receive it. And it is also interesting that in Coinbase, the ones that are from New York won't receive it.
Yeah.
So
That's shameful.
that's also
Yeah.
important to know, because this notice was done by like the 1st of December or 2nd of December. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's also important. So final thoughts about what we have been talking. What is your opinion about the ecosystem, or what do you think about the SEC case? Like, what may be the final outcome of this?
Yeah. Well, I think that if I had to bet, I would say that there's not going to be a settlement until we find out Gary Gensler's view on it. Now, that doesn't mean he has to be confirmed, but it looks like he's going to be confirmed. So the question is that if you have this split in the SEC between Hester Pierce and Elad and Heron Lee and whoever else, it's really going to be Gary Gensler's decision. And so, do we have to wait until he's confirmed? If that's the case, that could be a couple months from now. I mean, if you think about the U.S. Congress, I mean, they haven't even, they're not going to pass the COVID relief bill that they've been working on until March because they were impeaching Trump. Like they can't do two things at once, right? Like they can't chew gum and walk. That's our politicians in the United States. And so I believe it will settle, but I'm not optimistic that it will settle in the next month. I think that hopefully by June it would settle, but I don't believe that when all said and done that that the SEC is going to try to argue that the XRP that I have and that all the others have in their accounts are securities and are going to come up with some kind of compromise. It just doesn't happen overnight. I never give financial advice to anyone. It's just
Neither do I. Neither do I.
I've learned. Now, if you ask me what I buy or what I own, I'll tell you, right? Like I'll admit it. So like I own XRP and I still buy XRP because I believe at some point there's going to be a resolution and it's going to skyrocket. Now, skyrocket doesn't mean 1,000 or 10,000. Like if you're at 50 cents and it goes to $2, that's skyrocketing to me. You know what I mean? If you have something that multiplies 5-10 times, that's a pretty good return. So I know that some people have said, oh, they think there's going to be a settlement before February 22nd. It's possible, but if I had to bet, I'd say it's going to be at least a few more weeks, if not a few more months. But I think when all said and done, XRP isn't going away and is going to do okay.
Nice. So it was wonderful to hear you, to talk with you. And we may have a second conversation later on, maybe when the settlement or this is more clear. Okay, right now we hope that the mandamus goes on and we have some clarity with you, because as we have been hearing from you, we have to wait until we have a response from the court first, and then we can join together. Or what can we do for our cases? Like, can we feel something in Spain, something in Colombia? Can we do something? Can we join in any case, or do we have to wait?
We have to wait until June to file the case against the SEC. But I still plan, even if there was a settlement tomorrow between Ripple and the SEC, I still plan to do something to take action against the SEC. And in that situation, it would be all XRP holders, and not just the United States. It would be international holders, Colombia, Spain, Australia. Everyone has been affected by it and impacted by it. And some of the international investors may have been harmed more than the United States investors. It depends on your situation. You know what I mean? And so there is a way for international investors to join. It just takes a couple more hoops that we got to go through, to join them, because the Securities and Exchange Commission doesn't owe a duty officially to someone in Spain. They owe it to the investors in the United States because it's a United States agency. But that doesn't mean what we do is there's treaties between Spain and the United States where if the United States agencies harm, Spain's citizens, there's a recourse. And so there's a couple more legal hoops, but I'm going to make sure that this isn't limited to the United States. That's my intention. It says all XRP holders worldwide, basically.
Okay, perfect. So we stay tuned and we hope
Absolutely. I thank you.
for more.
Thank you for having me. And when there's new news, we'll do this again.
Perfect. So have a nice day and see you soon.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed the conversation, and please subscribe, click the notification bell, and leave a comment down below.